Morning, everybody. 8:10 a.m. It is January 11th. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have big news today. We have CPI coming at 8:30. Also have jobless claims. Fed Barkin speaking at 12:40. So we'll be looking at core inflation and the headline inflation number today. Okay, so market continued going higher yesterday. Took a while to break out. Market was actually kind of like not that strong, and then it gained strength, and that enabled the market to move higher. So that's what really happened yesterday. Bitcoin ETFs have been approved. That's the news there. So that's what's been going on there. Just give me one sec. We can look at news in a little bit. Just give me one second. Sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. Getting a little bit of a late start today. My daughter's home with me. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to my channel. My name is Steve Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the market. Also use supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, most traded price of the month, the week, in the preceding day. All helps me be on the right side of the trade, right? So yesterday I wanted to be long. I went long. Worked out. I played a looser stop, so I ended up getting stopped. Small profit, but I was looking for that breakout, which came later during lunch hour, which, of course, that's trading, right? Anyway, if you can, subscribe, set an alert. I'm to do it now. You can do it later after you watch my channel. You can also give me a like if you like what you're seeing. You can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. All right, now at 8:30 we have news coming out, and I'll go to that. But first, let's check out what's going on in futures. This won't matter much if the numbers are in line. It might. We'll just see. We'll just see. So after the Bitcoin news, ETFs, Ether's rocketing up more to 6.49%. Bitcoin's up 2.37%. Crude's up 2%, just bottoming out. Silver's up 7.73. The VIX is up 0.63. Gold still holding above 2K, up 0.53. Russell's up 0.5. 30-year bonds are being bought. Should send 10-year yield lower. This is before CPI. So most people probably thinking the CPI is not going to be hot. It's going to be lower or in line. So Nasdaq's up 0.37. ES 0.15. Dow's flat. And the dollar is down a little bit. So we have to see how this turns out today. All right, let's move on to stocks I like to day trade. Swing trade. Coin, no surprise, up 2.95. Netflix up 1.95. Baba's up 1.46. Nvidia is just skyrocketing, insane, up to 550 right now, 551. Insanity. And you have no laggard, right? Before CPI. All right, no laggard at all. Let's look at top sector stocks here. Salesforce got an upgrade. That is up 1.47%. Of course, Chevron now with crude is up. That's been a wild one. Disney's up. Eli Lilly's up. do have a little bit of lagger here, not much. Procter & Gamble, Walmart, I wouldn't call that much of a lagger. Let's look at the sectors. Not going to get much surprise here with semis up with Nvidia, followed by technology, energy, and we have no lagger to speak of. That's really what's going on in the watch list. Okay, now if we're going to go to some economic calendar so we can just see what's going on here. Give me 1 second here. I don't know why this keeps happening. Alright, let's look at our economic calendar today, okay? So we have inflation year over year. The forecast is 3.1. Consensus is actually 3.2, but the forecast is 3.1. Before it was 3.1. Okay. Now as far as the core, forecast is 3.9. Previous was 4. So we're looking for core to go down, and year over year inflation headline number, consensus is looking for it to rise 0.1, but the forecast is looking at to stay the same. So we have to see. We also have jobless claims. Forecast is 209. Previous was 202. Okay. So it should be interesting at 8:30. All right. Let's look at some news here. Spot Bitcoin ETFs. Talked about that. Looks like Google lays off hundreds in assistant hardware engineering teams. I saw Amazon laid off a bunch of people yesterday. Let's see here what else is going on. Just looking here for the first time myself. Alright, so here's some news from Netflix. The streaming giant's ad-supported tier had reached more than 23 million global active users per month. The Variety magazine reported on Wednesday, quoting the streaming giant's advertising chief Amy Reidhart. Okay. That's really all the news there. Let's check out Financial Juice here. Not really much going on here. Let's look at some upgrades and downgrades together. American Airlines got an upgrade. Chewy got an upgrade. Salesforce, that's why Salesforce is up. And downgrades. Lyft got a downgrade. Paramount Global got a downgrade. Plug got a downgrade. That's really all there. Alright. Quickly look at the daily charts. There's not much to look at there, because kind of everybody knows what happened. But we'll look at it together. Alright, so basically, we broke this trend line, right? We broke these 2 days, the highs. I was looking at that. That was the day trade I was in. And unfortunately, when I was in it, it just didn't have the strength of the market behind it, and it kind of pulled back, whipped me out, and then later on it made the push. Okay, so look what happened. We went up to last month's highs and last week's highs, and then we fell back. Okay, and currently we're at 477.72. So we're right now. We are right at the highs, basically, of yesterday, right? Look at the Qs. The Qs have just made lower high, lower high, lower high, and a higher high, higher high, and a higher high. And they actually closed this gap here. Yesterday they filled the gap. That's what's going on with the Qs, 410.42. Now they are gapping up today, Qs, prior to CPI. So that's really what's going on there. We can look at the bond market. Let's look at the 10-year yield together. Right? We can see here had a little nice push, but right now 10-year yield. So you have a swing high here above the 200-day moving average. Now it's starting to come back down. Right? So yields are falling again, pushing the market a little higher. And this will change definitely when the CPI and jobs numbers come out. Okay, dollar's kind of flat. Don't need to go over that. The VIX is pretty much dead right now. Not a lot of fear in this market. Okay. We can quickly go over yesterday's trade that I talked about. Set up really nice too. I had the movement. I was up maybe 80% on the trade, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let it breathe. I gave it a nice like loose stop, which still would make me in profit, and it whipped me out. And then later on, it moved. So, because I was looking for that big breakout that I was talking about yesterday in the SPY, it just happened to happen during lunchtime. So, kind of went without me. All right, let me move over to this. Let's go over here to the market profile. All right. Let's go right over to what I talked about yesterday and why I wanted to trade. Okay. So, beauty of this, you have overnight levels and you have the RTH levels here. And that's why I said these are weak highs here, right here. Okay, so that's why I wanted to go. So the market opened up. The market opened up right here. Actually, let's go. Let's see, you might even see it clearer in the RTH only here. So see, it held and it dipped into this demand zone right here. So I watched and waited, got long, and then you can see the most traded price was right here. That's where it struggled, right at this breakout point. So if we go back here, it struggled right here. Did a little dipsy-do here. Break this out. Right here. See, it started to go out and break out. And right here had a double top, had a poor high actually here. Fell back. And then it made its move. So that's what happened yesterday. And it took out all these shorts. They finally had to cover. But the market wasn't very strong early on until later in the day. Around noon, the market started to get stronger. So right now, normally I would analyze this, right? We're right at the highs of yesterday. All right, we have a very balanced profile as well. Okay. So what's to expect from these numbers? I don't know. right? I'm probably going to throw it back to just an hourly chart. I might just do that now. Might just go to the hourly chart for you guys. Give me a sec. And we'll just watch together what this CP9 number does. We got about 4 minutes. So if we look at this chart, and we'll look at it in maybe an 8-hour time frame right now. So you can see this is 8 hours. Basically, what is this? Since the beginning of the year, we fell down, right? And then big move up, a little bit of pullback, right? And push higher. So these are the highs from last year. We had a little selling in a supply zone right here. And now we're just sitting here with CPI. Now, I don't think CPI is going to be hot. So we probably move higher. I'm not really sure, honestly, how this pans out. If it's hot, then obviously it's going to go down. The market's going to go down a little bit. If it's in line, market probably moves up sideways. You know, if it really goes down, it surprises everybody, the market's going to go higher. So we just have to see. You have 2 minutes left. And one thing I can talk about real briefly, I used to have these on my charts and then took them off. But I've added back, this is a week-to-date VWAP. It's an anchored VWAP from each week. You can see how the market likes to bounce off that. And real quickly, the anchored VWAP is the volume weighted average price. It just means from the beginning of the week, which started here. When this is red, that means sellers are in control. When it's green, it means buyers are in control. Okay? And it just means from this point, from the beginning of the week, buyers are in control and it's sloping upwards. Right? So the average buyer right now, since the beginning of the week on futures, is 47.86. So that's the average buyer's position since the beginning of the week. And if we're all the way up here at 48.29, that's a pretty good position if you know, all the average buyers, that's what their position is. So if we come back down here and go below it, that would just mean that the average buyer is underwater. So let's go. This news is coming out in about 30 seconds. Really see here what happens. You can see the volatility already starting in the candle. You can see the way it's moving. 10 seconds now. And we'll jump right back to the calendar. When we have the news drop. All right. Okay. Oh boy. All right. So the news dropped, and the headline number, okay, is 3.4. This is probably going to send yields higher, dollar higher. That is hotter than what was expected. So the year-over-year inflation went up. Okay, core was forecasted at 0.2. It's at 0.3. Now this is sending the market lower. Okay, this is what I said. I said if the number was hot, that's unexpected. Okay, jobless numbers, initial jobless claims. Okay, what were they? Okay, initial jobless claims were 202. Okay, expected 209. So that's bearish. The employment market is still tight. Okay, you need to see this thing rise. You need to see inflation go down. It hasn't. Okay, now this is very key for the market. Okay, if the market ignores this, woof, but it's not right now. Okay, it is not ignoring it. So it's pretty nasty sell right there. That's not expected. Okay, that's zero point 0.3 above what was expected. So now we're coming into a demand zone here. This might not matter at all because this is news, right? News can supersede technicals easily. This is quite a surprise. I don't know what there's going to be breakdowns of this number later of what was, the components of the CPI. Shelter's a big part of it. Okay. Now this is not even energy. Oil's not been high. So this isn't energy. Most likely shelter. But if we take this bad news and we still go up, geez. So that demand zone's kind of getting a little pop here in the demand zone. We'll just have to see how this plays out. Okay. Now give me a sec here. I'm going to transition over to the market profile. We can see this, how this looks. Okay. Okay, I could break this out now just to see what just happened here, right? There's the big drop into this demand zone. This market's nuts if it just goes, oh, whatever, hotter than CPI, right? This last percent down to 2% is probably going to be sticky. Okay. So it's really hard to give a game plan because I don't know what's going to happen with this bearish news. If the market shrugs it off, man, those bulls are strong. So we're in the middle, close to the middle of yesterday's range. It's going to be very curious here. So here's what I'll say today is let's look at some key areas here in the ES. Okay. What you want to look at is here. Okay. Hold on. Let me make sure I have these numbers right for everybody. Okay. Let's get these numbers right. Okay. So what I'm looking at now. Okay, so the moist trader price of the month is here. Okay, we're underneath that. Okay, that's the most traded price of the last month, right there. Okay, and the most traded price of the week is here. This is big time balance right here over the last month. Okay, if we take out yesterday's lows and the most traded price of the week, right, the bulls have to defend this area. Okay, so this area has to be defended by the bulls. That's really it. And what is that around? 4,800 to 4,790. It's got to be defended. If that gets taken out, we're probably going to revisit 47.68. That's monthly VWAP here. Okay. But I don't know, right? Because now we're in the middle of the session. Market now is pushing higher. So if the market ignores it, that's very bullish. Okay, so if you can stay above this level, possibly can move higher. But right now, I don't really see solid game plan for new ones because I don't know what's going to happen for the next hour. I don't know how people are going to position, right? It's still volatile. Okay, let's look at the NASDAQ together. Let's make sure I get these levels correct. All right, NASDAQ filled this gap. Let's get rid of that gap. Let's look at the NASDAQ together. So the NASDAQ, now the NASDAQ has the most traded price of the week and the month together, right here. That level's around 168.15. Okay, this is the line in the sand. If this market comes down here and breaks that, you got week-to-date VWAP and monthly VWAP right here. This would be the testing point, and that's 16668. If you break here, you're going to go to here. You're going to test this. If you break that, you can go down here. Okay, like I said, that's if this level gets broken. Now, as far as buying, right, it's just the opposite. If this gets defended, that could push it higher. Okay, that could definitely push it higher. And of course, this negative news, right, if this turns bullish, when we hold in here, well, probably going to go higher because this negative news turns bullish. And if we don't go down, that's bullish. If we're just going to ignore the hotter than CPI, it's bullish. So today in the NASDAQ, this is a prettier setup to me. You have weak lows here. So you have an overnight low from yesterday, and you have a RTH low from yesterday, and you have the most traded price of the week and the month right here and demand zone. Okay. So and you got week-to-day view up right here. So if you come down, and even you touch this week-to-day view, and you start going up, and we get negative news, that's a long. Okay. If you break it and you hold, you're probably going down to here, at least to monthly view up. Okay. But like I said, there's a lot of volatility right now, so I don't really know, but those are the levels to look at. This is a very important level in that NASDAQ to defend. Okay. And I would look, I mean, for me personally, I would want to see this come down and make some excess here, like whip down, even touch week-to-date VWAP. And if it takes it back, it's going, we're going. Okay. But if we do something like this, let's make the color red. If we come down here, rip down, and we start accepting levels down here, take out monthly VWAP, we're going to take out week-to-day VWAP, we're going to test monthly VWAP in this demand zone here. And you look to the left, there's a weak low here. Right? So this could bounce, or if it breaks that, it could send this weight down to here. Okay? So remember, we were gapping up earlier. Now we're at the bottom third of the session. But like I said, there's too much time left to really have nuance, right? But these are the big levels I'm looking at. Hope that helps everybody out and makes sense to everybody. Okay? So if you can, subscribe. Said no. Now, market's pushing back down a little bit now. Just got to hurt a large order, hit the tape. Okay? So that's what I'm going to be sitting back and waiting for those levels I just said to show me if you're going to show acceptance, break a level, show acceptance to go lower, or you quickly move down and move above that level on negative news. That's very bullish. Okay? So, if you enjoyed my content, please give me a thumbs up. That'd be much appreciated. Okay. As always, you can follow me on X at Gonzo719. All right. I wish everybody good luck today. Stay green. Stay patient. That's what my mantra for the year is. Like this. This is a setup that I like again. Right. But if I don't like anything, I don't do anything. All right. So everybody, good luck today, and I'll see everyone tomorrow.